For more than 5 decades, a mysterious structure in the ancient Palestinian city of Nablus has remained the center of a relentless struggle between Muslims and Jews. This structure, small in appearance yet massive in controversy, is believed by many Jews to be the tomb of the revered prophet Joseph alayhi salam. For Muslims, however, it is not the prophet's burial place, but rather the tomb of an old local saint known historically as Yusuf Doi Kant, who lived nearly 200 years ago during the Ottoman Caliphate. The origin of this conflict goes back to 1967, when Israel occupied the West Bank after the Six-Day War. Following the occupation, this disputed site came under full Israeli control. Over the years, due to its emotional and religious significance for Jews, it was transformed into a place of worship and even a military foothold. In 1986, Israel established a Jewish religious school on the premises where night classes were conducted. By 1990, it evolved further into a fortified military post used not only for defense, but also for the performance of religious rituals. Jewish settlers believed that maintaining a military outpost at this sacred location would grant them divine support, victory in upcoming wars, and spiritual protection from defeat. For them, the site was a symbol of heritage, power, and theological fulfillment. But what the Israeli occupiers did not expect was that their own historical research would weaken their claim. Their investigation revealed that the present structure was only about 2 centuries old, far too recent to be associated with Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam, who lived thousands of years earlier. Despite this contradiction, the site remained heavily guarded and politically sensitive. Both sides, Muslims and Jews, were determined to defend their beliefs, creating an unending ideological and territorial battle. The atmosphere around the site grew increasingly intense as neither side could produce conclusive proof. This unresolved mystery transformed a simple structure into one of the most contested religious locations in the Middle East, pulling both communities into a conflict that blended history, politics, and faith. As the dispute deepened, Jewish scholars, military officials, and religious leaders reached a common conclusion. The only way to settle the matter was to excavate the grave. If it truly belonged to Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam, they believed it would become an undeniable Jewish heritage site, strengthening their political claim over Nablus. Muslims, however, warned of that the grave was not that of the prophet, and tampering with it could bring unforeseen consequences. Driven by religious curiosity and political motives, the Israeli authorities ignored Muslim concerns and initiated the excavation. But what happened next became the most shocking and chilling part of the entire controversy. Every time the Jewish excavation team attempted to dig, a large snake would suddenly emerge from the grave. The snake was extraordinarily fierce, sudden, and unstoppable. Soldiers fired bullets, but the snake did not die. They attempted to capture it, yet it could not be restrained. They tried using traps and poison, but nothing affected it. The snake appeared again and again, always emerging at the exact moment they tried to open the grave. With every encounter, fear spread deeper into their ranks. Soldiers, religious scholars, and even the excavation engineers refused to go near the grave. Many believed it was a divine sign that the grave should not be touched. Some even whispered that it was a guardian sent by God to protect the sanctity of the site. Within days, the entire Israeli camp was shaken. Continuous failures, fear among the troops, and the mysterious survival of the snake convinced them that opening the grave was impossible. Eventually, they abandoned the excavation attempt altogether. Their claim remained unproven, and the mysterious events surrounding the snake became an unspoken embarrassment among their military circles. This incident changed the atmosphere profoundly. Many Jews believed they had encountered a supernatural barrier. Muslims regarded it as a sign from Allah, affirming that the site was not the resting place of Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam. The story of the snake spread across Nablus and throughout Israel, creating a mix of fear, awe, and divine symbolism that no amount of military power could overcome. The grave remained untouched, and the mystery remained unsolved. To understand why the tomb in Nablus cannot be Prophet Yusuf's resting place, one must revisit the extraordinary life journey of Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam, whose story is preserved in the Quran with unmatched beauty and detail. Yusuf alayhi salam was blessed by Allah with half of all worldly beauty, making him one of the most strikingly handsome individuals to ever live. He was the beloved son of Prophet Yaqub alayhi salam, and this deep love led to jealousy among his brothers. As the Quran narrates, his brothers plotted against him, overpowered him, and abandoned him in a deep well. Yet Allah's plan was different. A passing caravan discovered the child and took him to Egypt, where he was eventually sold. Through trials, imprisonment, patience, and divine wisdom, Yusuf alayhi salam rose to become one of the most powerful ministers in Egypt, responsible for its economic planning during a severe drought. Allah later granted him prophethood, and he became a spiritual guide for the people of Bani Israel. Prophet Yusuf's story spans themes of betrayal, divine help, forgiveness, and miraculous rise to power. The Quran dedicates an entire chapter, Surah Yusuf, to his life, making it one of the most detailed prophetic stories in Islamic scripture. According to Islamic tradition, Yusuf alayhi salam lived approximately 120 years. Upon his death, however, a significant dispute arose in Egypt. Every tribe wanted him buried in its own neighborhood so that his grave would bring blessings to their area. To settle this dispute, a remarkable proposal emerged. Yusuf alayhi salam should be buried in a way that all Egyptians could benefit from his presence. Thus, according to narrations, he was placed in a marble coffin and buried deep within the Nile River, ensuring that the blessed river water passed over his grave, spreading goodness to every region of Egypt. This decision became an essential part of the sacred legacy of Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam. This historical background, not connected to Palestine or Nablus, strongly indicates that the tomb in Nablus cannot ethically or historically be Prophet Yusuf's burial site. Instead, Islamic narrations consistently link his initial burial to Egypt, where he spent nearly all his life. The later movement of his coffin occurred centuries afterward, during the time of Prophet Musa alayhi salam. Thus, the story moves forward into a deeper mystery involving divine guidance, prophecy, and the rediscovery of Yusuf's true grave. Centuries after Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam passed away, the people of Bani Israel lived in Egypt under increasing oppression. When Prophet Musa alayhi salam received divine instructions to lead them out of Egypt, an unexpected challenge arose. Despite their efforts, they could not find the correct path. Every route they attempted ended in confusion. Musa alayhi salam prayed repeatedly for guidance, and eventually, the scholars among Bani Israel recalled a forgotten prophecy. Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam had made them swear that when they departed from Egypt, they must take his coffin with them. But there was one problem. No one knew where Prophet Yusuf was buried. After questioning many elders, they finally learned that only one person knew the hidden location: a frail elderly woman. Musa alayhi salam visited her and requested the information. The old woman agreed, but only on one condition: "I want to be with you in paradise." This condition was overwhelming for Prophet Musa alayhi salam. He could not promise paradise on his own authority, but at that very moment, divine revelation descended, commanding Musa alayhi salam to accept her condition because her knowledge was crucial to fulfilling Prophet Yusuf's wish. The woman led Prophet Musa alayhi salam to a lake whose water had a strange yellow color. She instructed him to drain the water completely. When the lake bed was exposed, she pointed to a specific spot and said, "Dig here." As they dug deeper, a marble coffin appeared, sealed, pure, and untouched for centuries. Inside it lay the blessed remains of Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam. As soon as the coffin was taken out of Egypt, the path ahead became clear. The miracles returned. Musa alayhi salam and his people were once again guided by Allah. This moment symbolized that the promise made to Prophet Yusuf had finally been fulfilled, linking his legacy with the liberation of Bani Israel. The coffin was eventually transported to Palestine, where it was buried beside Prophet Yaqub alayhi salam and Prophet Ishaq alayhi salam. Yet even after this relocation, its exact location disappeared from historical memory. Muslim scholars agree that the authentic grave of Yusuf alayhi salam remains unknown, hidden by divine wisdom. The structure in Nablus, therefore, cannot be conclusively linked to him. Even after extensive historical research, archaeological studies, and religious investigations, the true burial place of Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam remains a divine secret. Muslim scholars maintain that only Allah and his final messenger possess authentic knowledge of its exact location. Over the centuries, numerous structures have been misattributed as prophetic tombs, yet the one in Nablus, despite its fame, has no solid evidence to support such a claim. The grave in Nablus first appeared during the Ottoman era, roughly 200 years ago, long after Prophet Yusuf's time. Jewish historians themselves confirmed its relatively recent construction, yet political motives, religious emotion, and cultural symbolism turned the site into a battleground of narratives. For Jews, the structure became a sacred symbol of ancestral connection. For Muslims, it remained a simple local tomb wrongly associated with a prophet. The mysterious snake incident added a powerful spiritual layer to the story. Many Muslims view it as a divine sign protecting the sanctity of a grave that may have been disturbed unnecessarily. The inability of Israeli soldiers to damage or open the tomb created fear and hesitation even among the most determined forces. The incident spread quietly across Israel and neighboring regions, becoming part of local folklore and religious debate. Today, the true wisdom behind Allah concealing the grave of Prophet Yusuf alayhis salam remains hidden. Some scholars say it protects the resting place from political misuse. Others say it prevents human beings from turning it into a site of conflict, worship, or exploitation. Many believe that Allah concealed it for the same reason the grave of Prophet Musa alayhis salam remains unknown, to avoid divisions and preserve pure monotheism. What remains certain is that Prophet Yusuf's legacy is far greater than any physical tomb. His story of betrayal, patience, forgiveness, beauty, courage, and unwavering faith continues to inspire humanity. The physical location of his resting place may be unknown, but his spiritual impact lives vividly in the hearts of people. The conflict in Nablus shows how deeply history, politics, and faith can intertwine. But the ultimate truth lies beyond human reach, preserved, protected, and hidden by divine decree. And perhaps this mystery itself is the greatest sign.